But we keep talking about Harry Kane, and he's not really had much of a sniff in the last 2 games. And you're smiling there, Micah, again. Because I sense that you're smiling because of the comments you've made this season that Tottenham are better without Harry Kane, and Bayern Munich might be worse with Harry Kane. It's so grossly unfair, Micah.
Can we just put this straight though? Because everyone thinks I've got like a problem with Harry Kane. I absolutely love Harry Kane. I just said, let me get the quotes correct. The rest of the players take more responsibility when Harry Kane's not there. It showed when he was injured before. They become a little bit more dynamic. Everything doesn't go through Harry Kane. And the quicker on the counter-attack. Those are my words. As for what's happening at Bayern Munich, now if they go out the Champions League and don't win the league, he might end up with no trophy, which is... What's a good word? Uncomprehensible. Is that a word?
Incomprehensible.
I was nearly there, guy. Incomprehensible.
Close, but no cigar. You had those. I bet you had those in Vegas, didn't you? Big la-di-da.
La-di-da. Had a few of those, of course I did. But yeah, he scored 30 goals. So, you know, when we're talking about Harry Kane, it is all tongue-in-cheek. But there is parts of the build-up at times where he is starting to come deep and get a little bit frustrated because he wants to be involved in the play. Whereas a striker like you guys, you're happy to stay within the area and make the runs and trust your teammates to provide for you. He doesn't need to do everything.
Micah, in his defence, we're very different players. And he can do things dropping deep, and his range of passing, for example, is way better than mine. So therefore, he's playing to his strengths. Now, the one weakness in Harry Kane, that's pretty unfair to say weakness, is the one thing where he probably lacks slightly, that's probably a better way of putting it, is that he does lack a little bit of pace. He's not the quickest player in the world. Whereas I was very quick. So my strength was my pace and my pace of thought. I would brag a little bit because I, understood how to score goals and attack space and that sort of thing. But his strength. Sorry.
Harry just said bullshit.
So Harry's strengths really are not just being in the box like I was, like making runs and stuff. He's got more to his game than me, no question about that. So I understand why he does that. But when you've got a player that does that, then you need players to run past him, don't you? You really do need that. Otherwise, particularly on the counter attack and stuff. And I suppose it's a conundrum that Gareth will have as well. Whether you also can't really have a dynamic press with Harry. I think you can have a reasonable one, but you really need to keep him quite high for that. So there are interesting aspects to his overall game. Do you feel, I didn't win too many trophies, and would it have made any difference to me in terms of, people talk about your legacy when you finish and all that, but I just think you give people pleasure or you don't. You give people joy or you don't. And I think whether Harry Kane wins a bloody trophy or not, he has given so many football fans so much joy, so much pleasure, so many wonderful moments that people will always say it, but and it will matter to him and he'll want to win a trophy because it's a kind of a big thing. But does it make you any less of a player?
It doesn't make you any less of a player, but accolades matter. You get into this game to win. We want to win. Of course, as being players at big teams, lesser players win a load of things, and they know deep down in their heart they didn't play a great part in being the ones who brought the cup or whatever it was home. But then there's someone like Harry Kane who is incredible footballer who deserves to win titles, and he will win titles. This season, maybe not, but next year at Bayern, they'll get it sorted. And if they don't win it this, and the league's not, it's only 5 points. He can bring it back, can't he?
I'm sure he will win a trophy or two. I mean, don't forget, Alan didn't win much. I didn't win that much. But, do we lose sleep about it? No, but I know what you mean with, of course, he wants to win. What I'm saying, it doesn't affect it doesn't affect my viewing on him as a footballer.
Yeah, but you played in a time where playing for your country was seen as the ultimate number one. Like, you've scored more goals, like, for your country. It still is, Micah.
It still is.
No, but for some players, they love the Champions League and the Premier League. It's always the greatest moment to make your first cap. But there's some players who just prefer the Champions League and the Premier League, or you know,
because you're more in your comfort zone. It's easier because you've not got to suddenly you're going away from your familiar surroundings.
Yes, exactly.
And don't forget the enormous pressure of playing and representing your country at a major tournament, because it matters so much to the mood of the nation. Whereas when it's your club, obviously, it matters to the mood of your supporters and it matters to the mood of yourself. But you get another chance 3 or 4 days later if you lose. You're playing a European Championship or a World Cup. You lose a last 16, you lose a quarter-final, that's it, you're out. You don't get another chance. This pressure is greater. The expectancy is greater, and it means more. Now, some players are more comfortable playing the Champions League and the Premier League, probably because the pressure isn't quite as great. It's still great. I don't know. I'm just making an argument here, but I don't think that's changed. I think the majority of the players, I think the absolute highest thing that you could possibly do is perform brilliantly and win something. I'll go back to your point on that, and win something for your country. We've not done that in our country for an awfully long time. And if Harry Kane lifts the European Championship in the summer, and England will be one of the favourites, no question about that. They'll have a good chance. And at some point, they're going to get a couple of lucky breaks in the tournament that perhaps they've not necessarily had at key moments. And that will happen. And I'd take that trophy again over all the others. It would mean way more than winning a Champions League or a Premier League or a Bundesliga or a German Cup or an FA Cup. It would be extraordinary.
I'd probably agree with you if you won a Euros or a World Cup. But if you're going into the team and you're Trent Alexander-Arnold, for example, the level of that player, Premier League, Champions League, amazing. But if you know you're going away with your country and you're not a starter, yes, it's amazing if you a starter and you win. But if you're in and out, you don't have the same feeling.
I get that, but that's kind of a different point. That is a different point. It's almost like saying, would you prefer to be a journeyman player in a really great side and win loads of trophies, or be someone like a superstar like Harry Kane that he's not quite played in teams that have been quite good enough to win any trophies? Which one would you take?
It should have waited. We've talked about the move, didn't we? And you and Alan said it was a great move. I would say it's an amazing move because of the size of the club. But if you're going to leave Spurs and you could potentially go on a free contract, you've got to go to Real Madrid or Man City just because of where they were headed. And I'm not saying it's a mistake.
Well, Bayern Munich is a truly great football club that wins the league every single year.
Yeah, but I mean, would you rather go to Spain?
Yeah, but these are different points. You didn't answer my question. Would you sooner be?
I'll answer your question.
Would you sooner be a good player in a great team that wins lots of trophies, or a great player that's not quite played in the best team and not won any trophies?
But when you say a good player, how good we talking?
You'd have to be good to be in. Like, take some, I don't know, players that played perhaps in a Manchester United side that won loads of titles.
Okay, O'Shea. Take O'Shea or Fletcher.
Yeah, an O'Shea that wins loads and loads of trophies. Very good footballer, but not a great. Or a great footballer like Harry Kane and not win trophies. I'd sooner be Harry Kane. I'm sorry, but I sort of was, I suppose, in a way. I won a few trophies, but
yeah, but I think that's. I don't know, because that's what you and Al, you.
That's why I'm asking you,
Alan,
Micah. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, you and Alan and Harry Kane are incredible individual. You've done everything in the game, but I'd rather have 10 Premier Leagues in my back pocket. That's
fine. You've answered the question. Totally respect your answer, and it's an interesting question, though, isn't it?
No, because it is debate. Would I rather be you or O'Shea? Of course I would be you. Or maybe not you. Would I rather be
someone good?
Because you've
still won
things.
Really good.
You've won things at this moment in time. Harry Kane's not won anything at this moment in time. If the career's ended now,
yes.
And O'Shea, he played a good part. I remember some of the goals. I would rather have the 10 or 8 or Premier League medals or whatever he's got.
Fair enough. I like that. It's good. You got off the fence, got off the career set off your arse for that one. Eventually, we got there in the end. Just one more wafer thin mint. You don't know what I mean by that, do you? The character called Mr. Creosote in the Monty Python movie, The Meaning of Life, where he's eaten so much he's about to burst, and he says, "You want one more wafer thin mint, Mr. Creosote?"